Listen, man, if anybody out there try to shame you for speaking up for your people against these evil, racist, white supremacists, you send them this video right here. And y'all make sure y'all hype and make sure y'all like and subscribe, because white people are tired of evil white people. Check it out, y'all.
You're saying more black people get abortions.
Yes. So I looked
Okay,
at
why is that, white lady? White lady, why do more black people get abortions? Because abortions are based on what? Lack of access to resources. Because abortions disproportionately happen to impoverished people. Why are black people more impoverished than white people? Because of white supremacy. So thank you for pointing out that people that have been forced into poverty through systemic racism of the last 200 years are forced to abort their baby more because of the lack of resources to be able to raise a baby. And then you, as a white lady, use that as your talking point to take the health care away from those same women that are suffering in those same impoverished neighborhoods, because you don't want to acknowledge the white supremacy behind it all.
Normally when you ask somebody, look, why you don't have kids? They first thing is initially is, I can't take care of all them. I can't. But even though God will make a way, but that's the one thing. Comes from poverty, y'all, a lack thereof.
This might be a hot take, but a lot of white people are not happy. There are 3 reasons for this. The first is that there is just a general idea of just hyper-individualism and hoarding of resources. A lot of them are extremely stingy, don't tip well, and also don't donate to local charity.
Warning, racist is bad for your health. Elizabeth Page could explain that the targets of prejudice aren't the only ones harmed by it. Wow.
They're very isolated, and what few friends they have, their connection is built upon shared bigotry, which is obviously not a strong connection. Number 2, a lot of white people feel a sense of emptiness. They have the job, the car, the career, the kids, the Bible, but they don't feel that sense of fulfillment.
Men are the mental health problem in this country. Jim Crow, white men. Slavery, white men. Segregation, white men. Concentration camps for Asian Americans in the late 30s and early 40s. 1,800 people died. How many black people were hung from trees? 8,000. Let me guess. Oh yeah, once again, white men. The gun violence? 98% are men. 84% are white men, U.S. citizens. I see a trend. How about the Middle Passage where 1.2 African Americans died? Oh yeah, once again, white men. Why was the Second Amendment written? Let me think. Oh, so black people couldn't have their freedoms. So the white men could once again control them. Who's in the White House? An adjudicated rapist, convicted felon white man. Wow, I see a trend. But somehow Americans are just begging to blame a trans person, a non-white person. See, what happened to George Floyd is symbolic of what's happening in this country. The white man putting his knee on the neck of a non-white person and sitting there in broad daylight with the balls to say, who's going to stop me? And that's what we're seeing right now. So that's the question that we need to ask ourselves as a fucking country. Who's going to stop them? Because I'm just one person here. Now, I don't know about you, but I got friends and family that are sitting.
To further prove his point, when you go into the courthouses, when you look on certain tags that be on like police or whatever, sheriffs, there's a picture of a guy standing over another guy with his foot on him. That goes to show you this country is led by dominating other people.
Behind the white privilege, and I want nothing to do with them. Not because of who they are, because their lack of action. Martin Luther King said, history is going to remember not the people that did bad things, but the good people that stood by and did nothing. Because once again, the white man is hiding behind their privilege while everybody else is getting treated like absolute fucking garbage. Because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
You don't even want to go on a general strike to stop fascism. Oh, I can't work. Oh, I got a job. White man is the mental health crisis in the United States of America. It has been since day one.
And that is not AI. That's a real white man telling you the truth, letting it be known. I'm telling you, they are tired of their own people, bruh.
App goes kaput specific to white people in America, which is kind of me. There are these conversations we have about imposter syndrome, you know, like I have imposter syndrome. And for a white person, the reason that you and I have imposter syndrome is because we are imposters. To be born white in America is to be born a settler. Even if we don't own land, the cultural implications of colonization and the power structure means that we have a settler psyche. That's how our brain works. That's how we think. That's how we go. In the entirety of the sense of self. in whiteness for white people is a fabrication. It is a lie. It is pretenders. We are imposters. That's why we have imposter syndrome, because we are imposters. Why do you think white people, especially white men, me, why do you think we're so fragile? Why do you think we can't handle conflict? Why do you think we run away all the time? Why do you think it's because we have a fragile sense of self, a fragile ego, and we're fragile because we are trying to keep up this charade of being superior, which is a fucking lie. The irony of a superiority complex is a deep sense of misery and fragility that makes life not enjoyable because we're actually living counter.
That's that snaky personality. They smiling in your face. Oh, whoa, whoa, them backstabbers. These are the type of people that are smiling in your face when y'all out and about, maybe at the grocery store or something like that. But you catch that person in traffic. They in a personal space, telling you, gonna curse you right the fuck out.
To what is true to humanity, which is that we are all the same fucking species, meaning we are all equal, we are all worthy and valuable to the same fucking degree. But because we have so distorted that, because of our ancestors have so distorted that, or maybe I should point down, they're certainly not going there. Because of that distortion, we are born in the psychological framework where we have this really fragile sense of self, and we're just trying to keep up with the Jones, keep up the fucking charade, and we don't do the fucking work internally to actually figure out how to root and ground ourselves in some sort of values, to respect the humanity of others, to respect the humanity of ourselves. And so we just pretend, and then we feel terrible. I'm an imposter. They're going to find out, and then I'm a fraud. Well, you're a fucking fraud, and so am I. Because we're fucking white Americans. Now, this is a little bit different for men and women. There is an imposter syndrome that exists under patriarchy for women that I'll never understand. And so I'm just speaking to the white portion of this. But if you are white, even if you're a woman, it's a little bit different, obviously. But like white people in general, we are fucking imposters, man. And we gotta confront that and look at it dead in the mirror. Because do we want to be fragile forever? Do we just want to like not be able to deal and handle conflict forever? Do we want to do this bullshit right to comfort forever? And I'm looking myself in the mirror right now. This is what I realized this whole last year. I am a fraud. I am a fake. I am a pretender. That's who I have been. That's not who I need to continue to be. There's a better world. There's a better life. There's better relationships. But the longer we run away from this shit, the longer we fucking hide, where are we gonna get? We're never gonna be good community members. We're never gonna be able to practice actual revolutionary values. We're just gonna keep in the same fucking bullshit, distant, non-intimate, fake, imposter shit. We have imposter syndrome because we are imposters.
Bro, the evils of the world is imploding on themselves, y'all, because they tired of it. It's like, okay, I got all these trillions of dollars. I own every damn thing. Now what? You got to look at yourself in the mirror, buddy.
America chose, and it chose white supremacy, fascism, and authoritarian rule. It chose the subjugation of women, gays, immigrants, in service of white supremacy, and in service of one man, really. Because we've decided with this election to put one man outside the bounds of the rule of law. And it's going to be way worse this time. Because you just rewarded a criminal conman grifter whose back was against the ropes and who's seen no repercussions for any of his criminal acts or acts of revenge against his perceived enemies. You've given him carte blanche to do whatever he wants.
White people? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our violence. White violence. No more deflecting. No more blaming everything on everybody else. Let's confront ourselves. White people in America, our history is so extremely violent. And instead of confronting that, we continue to blame other people for the issues and the problems in this country, instead of just taking ownership of our part to play in everything, which is a huge part. Can we stop scapegoating other groups of people, please, and just look at ourselves?
So I see, once again, we've had it put into our face that white folks, we are the problem. We're the problem.
Damn.
We're the problem.
Damn.
Our refusal to honestly deal with our history of hatred, racism, genocide is a problem. Our inability to see where the unhealthiness of our culture is the problem. Our inability to see how racism and Christianity all tied up in together is the problem. And the biggest problem is that we do not see we are the problem.
Damn! I gotta look at it like they gotta sit with that. When they at their crib, they by themselves, everybody out partying. But you sitting up here, you got all these millions. You run things. You got all of this. But you gotta sit with yourself. And you not happy with yourself. You always thinking somebody about to revenge your ass for what you did or what your ancestors did. That ain't no type of life. You out here just watching over your back while everybody having fun. You sitting up here with no personality because of all of the wickedness that you got to sit there with.
God bless.
Racism devastates people from the global majority the most. Obviously, let's be really clear about that. But whiteness carries a cost for white people too. And I wish white people could get that into their heads. It shows up in how isolated we often are. In regions like the Northeast and Wales, over 90% of people are white British, and a third of white Britons say they have no friends from a global majority background. I mean, think about what that means. We are cut off from whole worlds of perspective, from different ways of thinking, problem solving, creativity, ideas, joy, humor, you name it. Instead of gaining resilience through difference, we stay small and we stay shallow and we cling to sameness, and I guess we call that normal. Whiteness looks like power.
That's why I said be careful of the ones with them dark shades on. They be chewing that tobacco right there with no personality, they don't smile. I'm telling you, bruh, these people are like damn robots. A lot of them police is like that too. They like robots.
It cuts us off from the richness of life itself. Racism dehumanizes people of color, but it also diminishes white people. And anti-racism isn't charity work, remember. It's how we open the door to fuller humanity, connection, and possibility. I mean, it would be great if we did this out of the goodness of our hearts and for the sake of justice. Damn. But if that feels like too much to ask, do it for selfish reasons. Do it because your life will be richer, deeper, funnier, and better if you do.
Can we stop, for once, at least, maybe in our nation's history, stop trying to blame white-on-white crime on black people? Can we stop it for once, at least, please? Like, we all knew when Charlie Kirk was killed. We knew who this was going to be. We knew who the suspect was going to be, a young white man. We knew it. And yet, some people tried to spin this to say it was something else. And now threats are being lobbied against black students at universities. Black HBCUs are being threatened to be blown up. I think 4 of them had to shut down yesterday and today because they had to deal with bomb threats. It was never them. It's never been the black community. We always blame anybody else but ourselves. But the call is coming from inside the house. We are the problem. White on white crime. Damn. We are the problem. We have always been the problem. So let's, for once, stop trying to blame somebody else and look inward and try to address the actual problems that we...
Also, for the longest, guns and shit wasn't accessible for us. Our people don't know how to make bullets and shit like that. That's them.
We are the ones creating upon ourselves.
I cannot wait for the comments on this one, but white people, we're gross, and I just learned yet another reason why. So my 3-year-old son is in nursery school, right? And we got an email the other day that said that there was lice happening at the school. Gross. So I follow the links to like the CDC page on head lice, and I of course buy all the products and get the knit comb and all the things, and I'm studying the information on the CDC page when what to my wondering eyes should I come across but the little fun fact that African American communities experience less lice than white people. It just makes me think of...
Y'all look up that book, The 13th Tribe.
Nice compliment that is to the TikTok I saw the other day. Oh, I wish I could remember who created it. With the guy talking about how when the Europeans came here to the U.S., then, Turtle Island, the indigenous people could smell them like football fields away, and they were like so repulsed that they begged them to bathe, and they taught them how to have appropriate levels of hygiene. And they say white people have no culture. It's in our blood. We're disgusting.
Well, there you have it. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. If anybody out there try to call you racist or anything, you got white people calling out their own evil counterparts for their actions. And a lot of them are tired of it, y'all, because they have to sit with themselves. They sick and tired of being called evil. They sick and tired of being evil. When they see people being joyful, they want to be a part of that spirit. They want to be a part of that having fun, having a personality, inside jokes. They want that, but it just don't let them, y'all, until they face themselves in the mirror. But y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kish signing out. Gone, y'all.